Welcome, everyone. Today we're going to explore this really beautiful, powerful connection between what we believe in our hearts and how we actually live our lives. It's this incredible relationship that all starts with a single choice, right? A choice between doing things our own way or following a path that's been laid out for us in love. So let's dive right in. All right, let's start with a little thought experiment. Just imagine for a second, you've been offered the one thing you want more than anything else in the world, your freedom. But there's just one final task you have to do. How would you handle it? Would you do it with care, or would you rush through it? This very question is at the heart of this amazing story from the Joseon Dynasty in Old Korea. And believe me, it gets right to the core of what we're talking about today. So picture this. You've got this kind, well-respected master, and he calls all of his servants together in the courtyard. You can just feel the anticipation in the air, right? And then he makes this absolutely stunning announcement. Tomorrow, he's going to grant every single one of them their freedom. I mean, this is the precious gift they've been dreaming of their entire lives. But of course, there was one last thing they had to do before they could go. He points over to this barn, and it is just filled to the rafters with straw. He asks them to spend their very last night twisting that straw into ropes. And he gave them a really specific, super clear instruction. Make the ropes as thin and as long as you possibly can. Okay, so what happened to those servants? We are definitely going to come back to that story and see how it all plays out, I promise. But first, let's kind of use their situation as a way to understand the deep spiritual principle it illustrates so perfectly. So think about it like a chariot. Faith and obedience, they're the two wheels. They're totally inseparable. You just can't move forward on this journey of life with only one wheel, right? It just doesn't work. Faith, that's our deep internal trust in God's promises, in the things we can't see. And then obedience, well, that's how we make our faith real. It's how we make it visible and alive through what we do. It's basically faith in motion. And this very idea is echoed in such a powerful way in the Bible. It tells us that what truly delights God isn't necessarily our big, grand gestures or complicated ceremonies. It's our simple, heartfelt attention to His loving guidance. That kind of attentive obedience, that is the absolute truest expression of our trust, our love, and our faith in Him. So, this brings up a really important question, one that I think we all have to ask ourselves at some point. If obedience is such a vital, living part of our faith, then why do we sometimes stray? What causes us to choose a different path when we know the one we've been given is for our own good? Well, a lot of the time, it really just boils down to a simple and, let's be honest, a very human mistake. We start to think we know better. Maybe we lean on our own experiences, or we trust our own logic more, or we start to follow our own personal philosophies. We might even add a little bit to God's instructions, or, take a little bit away thinking, it won't really matter. But what's happening is that our own thoughts start to cloud our faith. And that can lead us away from the safe path God has prepared for us. But in His incredible love for us, God doesn't just leave us guessing about where our choices will lead. Not at all. His word lays it out so clearly. There are two potential outcomes, two very different paths that come from that one simple decision, to either listen and follow or to turn away. Now, the book of Deuteronomy paints this beautiful picture of the first path, a path of just abundant blessing. It says that when we listen carefully to God's voice and lovingly follow His commands, He promises to pour out blessings on every single part of our lives, our work, our families, our homes, from the moment we wake up to the moment we go to sleep. It's just this incredible vision of a life that completely flourishes under His loving care. But, on the other hand, the Bible also shows us a stark contrast. It warns us that choosing not to listen leads to the exact opposite. Those very same areas of life that were promised blessings, well, now they're met with struggle and hardship. It's a really powerful and I think loving way of showing us the consequences that come when we step off the path that God designed for our protection and our joy. And look, this whole principle that obedience leads to blessing and disobedience leads to loss, it's not just some abstract theory, not at all. The Bible is filled with stories of this pattern playing out again and again in the lives of real people. It gives us this rich history of lessons that we can all learn from. I mean, just look at these incredible examples. You've got King Saul, who decided his own judgment was better than God's direct command, and tragically, it cost him everything, his whole kingdom. Then in this beautiful contrast, you have King Josiah. He rediscovers God's word and just commits himself and all his people to obeying it, and it leads to this amazing revival. And then, of course, who could forget the story of the Israelites in the wilderness? An entire generation missed out on the promised land, all because of their persistent disobedience. That's a really sobering lesson for all of us, for all time. So you see, understanding this deep connection between our obedience and the outcome is just, it's so crucial. And with that in our minds, let's get back to our story. The long, long night of work is finally over. The sun is coming up, and the morning of their freedom has finally arrived. Okay, so the master gathers all the tired servants back in the courtyard, and they present the ropes they've spent all night making. You can see right away, some of them are thick and short, clearly made in a hurry. But others are incredibly long and unbelievably thin, the result of a whole night of painstaking, diligent work. And that's when the master brings out this huge chest, and it is just overflowing with glimmering gold and silver coins. He's about to show them the real reason for his final command. And this is where we get the beautiful twist in the story. The master smiles and tells them, take as many coins as you can thread onto the ropes you've made. And in that one moment, everything clicks. The servants who rushed, the ones who made those thick, short ropes thinking the details didn't matter. They could only watch in dismay as their ropes were too thick to fit through the tiny holes in the coins. But the ones who had obeyed exactly as they were told, the ones who toiled all night to make their ropes long and thin, well, they could now thread coin after coin after coin, filling the entire length of their rope with treasure. You see, the master's command was never for his own benefit. It was the key, the very key to their incredible reward. Isn't that an amazing story? It just perfectly illustrates the core message we're exploring today. God's commandments are not meant to be burdens. They're given to us out of a deep, profound love, designed to be the very path that leads us to eternal treasures and a joy we can't even imagine. So think of God's instructions in the Bible as that thin rope he gives each of us. It's the precise method, the specific path he has lovingly designed for us so we can receive his greatest gift of all, the free gift of the water of life. And what is that? It's the promise of salvation and eternal truth. It's a gift we receive through a faith that shows itself in loving obedience. And you know what's so beautiful? This isn't some exclusive, difficult invitation. The book of Revelation ends with this wide open call from God. It's an invitation of pure love, and it's extended to every single person who is searching, anyone who is thirsty for something more, for a truth that truly satisfies the soul. You know, here at We Love Bible Truth, our whole purpose is to explore these beautiful truths of life that are found in the Bible. So if this message of love and faith and obedience has touched your heart today, we'd be so grateful if you'd subscribe and share this message. That way so many more people can discover this beautiful, life-giving path. Because ultimately, just like it was for the servants in that story, the choice is ours. Every single day, we get the opportunity to pick up the path that God has laid out for us, a path that this story shows us leads to unimaginable blessings and eternal life. So the final question is, are you ready to walk it? Thank you so much for joining me today.